Hey, my name is Jason Gartner, and if you're watching this video, it's because you are in a position that I was in a few years back. You're trying to find out how to get a job in compliance, specifically anti-money laundering, even if you have little or no experience. Now, if you are ready to land that first job, then you might have already started applying, very much like I did. Now, unfortunately, you may be realizing that no matter how many times you apply, you're just not getting the jobs that you want, if you're getting any response at all. I've been there, I know exactly how you feel. See, here's the thing. There are typically 3 obstacles that are standing between you and your dream job in anti-money laundering. The first is going to be experience. You're probably asking yourself the same thing I was. How do I get experience if I don't have it, right? I need the job to get the experience, but I can't get the experience without first working at the job. So it's kind of like that chicken or the egg conundrum. Which one comes first? And I don't know about you, but it drove me up a wall, right? I was so annoyed because I'm wondering, how am I supposed to get this experience that these hiring managers and these job descriptions are saying that they want without first having somebody take a chance on me and hiring me? So what I learned is that when jobs say they want experience, essentially what they're saying is that they want somebody who they don't have to train. Now, of course, there will be some training on the internal systems and programs, but they don't want to have to teach you how to actually do the job, right? They want you to come there knowing how to do it already. So that way you can just kind of hit the ground running. So that is what those years of experience, and I put it in quotes because that's what it really means, right? They assume, hey, if you have 3 years of experience, then that means that you know how to do the job already. That way, when you start at the job, there's not a lot of training that needs to happen. There's not a lot of hand holding that needs to happen. You just sit down, start working, right? So your job is to find a way to gain that experience, to gain that knowledge. So the first place you'll look if you're in anti-money laundering is probably the CAMS, which is the most well-known certification in anti-money laundering. Now, that is great. The problem with the CAMS though is that yes, it is well known, but it still teaches mainly theory. And what good is theory without any practical application? That's why you'll see, and I've had people that I worked with in the past tell me that after having the CAMS, they still can't land a job. Why? See, the job description may say CAMS preferred, but a lot of hiring managers also know that just because you sat down and answered a couple of multiple choice questions, that doesn't mean that you know how to actually do the job, right? Anyone can pass a test if you study enough. And what they want to do is hiring managers want to fast track that process of once you're hired and not having to teach you. So while the CAMS is great for name recognition, if you're like me, you could care less about name recognition and instead you want actual hands-on training. So your job is to find that training. So when I was trying to do this, I ended up finding people who work in compliance and anti-money laundering, and I conducted very detailed interviews. I asked them not only what they do, but exactly how to do the job. See, because if I could learn exactly how to do the job, then that would put me in a better position. So what I did was I was able to get comfortable as I learned what they did and walk through their actual processes, what databases they use, how do they conduct investigations from top to bottom. I was able to map out a process for myself. Knowing how to do the job also helped supercharge my resume. See, the hands-on experience was the catalyst for my career. Now, the second obstacle that you're going to run into, and I alluded to this just a second ago, is your resume. Now, I don't know what your background is, whether it may be retail banking, maybe the legal field, maybe a back office function. But if you want to get into compliance or anti-money laundering, you need a new resume. Now, I'm willing to bet that your resume does not align with the type of job that you're applying for. Now, the reason for that is a lack of alignment. What do I mean by that? See, your resume has to align to the job that you're applying to. So the first step to achieve alignment, and this is a little exercise I want you to do, is go online and find the job that you want to apply to. You want to pick between 5 and 10 job descriptions. Now in that, look for the 5 to 7 common words that are or requirements that are in each. So for example, if you're pursuing a career in anti-money laundering, which I assume you are because you're watching this video, you might see the word fraud multiple times. So what you would do is you would write down fraud as one of your keywords. Then repeat that process and pull 5 to 7 keywords that you've seen show up repeatedly in all job descriptions. Now, once you've done that, you know these are the keywords that the hiring managers are looking for. So your next step is to phrase your resume. So look at your current resume and ask yourself, at your current or last job, what did you do that related to the first keyword? So, for example, again, if it was fraud, you would say, well, what did I do maybe at my current job, or what do I do at my current job that relates to fraud? As you look at your experience through that lens, you'll start seeing a connection between the keywords and your experience. So when you continue to draft your resume, now you're drafting with those keywords in mind. Therefore, when the recruiters and hiring managers are reading it, you are talking to them in the way that they want to be talked to, in the words and phrases that they understand. So when you do that, that puts you in a better position, because too often we decide to just have a resume that we think is good. But remember, when it comes to applying to jobs, it's not about you. It's about the hiring manager. They want to know what's in it for them, right? They want to get the best person for the job who also requires the least amount of training, because they have a full plate that they have to do on their own. Now, if your resume has the keywords that they are looking for, and you'll know that because it's what you've seen in the repeated job postings, and your experience is told through the lens of those keywords, you now give yourself a significantly higher chance of getting past what I call the resume robots. So what are the resume robots? See, what happens is you submit your resume and then it goes into a system, right? Or it gets to the email, which gets filtered into a system. That system is going to look for keywords. Now, if your resume doesn't have the keywords that the system is looking for, good luck. Your resume will never even get in front of a hiring manager. But if you do the exercises that I told you, if you look at those 5 to 7 keywords, if you pull those in and you draft your resume experience through the lens of those keywords, and you make sure that they're included throughout, you now are talking directly to them. You're speaking their language. And when you do that, you get the benefit of not only having the keywords, plus you get the benefit of actually talking to them, again, in the language that they need. Now, the last obstacle you're gonna run into is showing hiring managers that you can back up what you're saying. See, too many times people go on an interview, and during that process, applicants will promise a hiring manager the world. I can do this, I can do that, I've done this before, I can do it all. It's a funny story, I worked with somebody who said that she could code in SQL or SQL. It wasn't the main part of her job, but it wasn't a nice added bonus that they could use. So guess what happened? On the first day of the job, they had a project, they wanted her to do some SQL work. Her response was, oh, I don't know how to do that. Flat out. You don't want to be that person, especially since companies have that 90-day period where they can let you go without cause, right? So therefore, what you need is a way to distinguish yourself from everyone else. You need proof to show a hiring manager that you're more than just talk. So what I do, and what I recommend everyone do, is create writing samples that align with the job that you're applying to. See, the professionals that I work with through our compliance accelerator, they all leave with their own writing samples based on mock investigations that they actually conducted. So if you're applying to, say, a KYC or know your customer position, wouldn't it be great if you had a KYC investigation, if you had the research, the entity, the case notes, and your conclusion, right? And doing that will show that you know how to do something from the beginning to the end. And do you agree that having a memo that evidences your ability to do the job that they're hiring you for will actually set you apart from all the other applicants? Of course it will. So if you have that, it gives you a significantly higher chance, because now what you can do is you can show hiring managers that you're not just talk, that you can actually back it up. So to do this, we use what I call the briefcase technique. Now, depending on when you're watching this, we may still very well be in a stay-at-home order. So if it's a virtual interview, you would send this via email. However, If you were to interview in person, it definitely works better. So what you would do is, as the interview goes and they're asking, what have you done that is like this position? What have you done that's similar to what you would be expected to do here? Something to that effect. What you would do is say, oh, well, actually, I've done investigations, done mock investigations. And you reach into your briefcase and say, here, I have one for you to review. So what that does now is it takes you from somebody who is all talk to someone who can actually do. And when the hiring manager walks away, they're able to remember you because now they have this physical proof that you actually know how to do the job. That helps you stand out amongst all the other people that are interested or that may be applying to the position. Because if you're at this step, you would have gained the hands-on experience, which would have allowed you to have the right resume, which would also give you what you need to have the proof. So when you go into the interview, you're able to show the hiring manager that you have the full package. And once you do, you'll start seeing more doors unlock, more opportunities, more careers, because you have the full package. And that's what we believe is very important when you're pursuing these roles. Now, if you were like me, you're like, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I get that hands-on experience? Well, we can help you. See, at Compliance Prep, we offer what we call our Compliance Accelerator. That is a comprehensive anti-money laundering, sanctions, and program governance. And that will give you the hands-on training that you need. So when you go to these jobs, you'll be able to talk about what you can do. And then you'll be able to show them that you can do it because you'll have the writing samples. And that's what you get as part of our program. So you can say, hey, I'm applying for a SAR position, for example. Here are some suspicious activity reports that I've written based on mock investigations that I've conducted. And they will see the work that you've done from beginning to end. And now what we do and what puts us and differentiates us from everyone else in the market is we do teach you, but then we have you do. Because the best learning is by doing, right? So you will conduct investigations, do reviews, you will process alerts, you identify red flags and wire transactions. We have you do all of that because if you do that, it puts you in a position that is significantly more advanced than anyone else that's applying for the role at that time. Now we are also rolling out, and depending on when you're watching this, our own certification. So once you have completed and finished the course, then there's a final assessment or a test that once you pass, you will get your own formal certification. Not a certificate, but a legit certification that we are working on now. So you'll be able to have both the signaling factor in your resume with the certification at the end of your name. But you'll also have the actual hands-on experience, you'll have the writing samples, and you'll have the resume that has all the keywords told through the correct lens to align directly to what hiring managers are looking for. Now for those who are interested, there's a link in the description. Click that below and you'll get a chance to book a time to talk with me or somebody from our company. Now, the reason why we have you schedule a call is one, we are offering a very special discount to those who are interested in pursuing and working with us in our Compliance Accelerator. Now, normally the Accelerator goes for $3,500, but we are offering it for pretty much half off. And I'm going to tell you the price up front because I know I would want to be told. However, that is only for people who we believe are good fits since we will be working together pretty closely. So to determine if you are a good fit, you have to click the link below and schedule a call. And once you schedule a call, you will talk with me or somebody from our team to determine if you really would be the best fit to take advantage of this discount that we are offering now. Now, as an added bonus, you get to work with me one-on-one to revise your resume and a prep call for your interviews. So to recap, the Compliance Accelerator, you're going to get hands-on training, you're going to get a compliance-focused resume, and a portfolio of writing samples for your interviews. And to ensure your resume is in tip-top shape, I'm going to work on your resume with you individually. Now, there's a lot of things that you're going to get, but the only way to do that and to get these bonuses is to book a call by visiting the first link in the description below. Now, you'll see that you can book a time on my calendar. As we talk, we'll see if you're a good fit, and if you are, then we will move forward and give you the option of joining the cohort of students. However, do know that if you schedule a call and then you are a no-show, that there are no ways to reschedule. You can cancel ahead of time, but if you are a no-show, there are no chances of rescheduling because we have a lot of people that we are talking to and we want to be respectful of everyone's time. So simply click the link below, schedule a call, and me and someone from my team will be excited to speak with you. Now we've seen this process successful for people landing jobs all over the world through our program. So we do look forward to working with you and helping make your career decisions, your career dreams come true. Again, click the link below, schedule time to talk with me or somebody from our team. And remember, it is half off or approximately half off, but that's only if you feel that you are a good fit. Now, one thing you may be asking yourself is, do I really want to make this investment? And I understand, I would ask myself the same, because it is an investment in yourself and your career. Or do I just put it off? Now, one thing I will say is jobs will continue to be posted. And if you don't make the choice to move forward now, you'll look back 6 months, a year from now and wonder, man, I'm in the same position I was before. I'll tell you a funny story. So when I wanted to get into AML, there was someone who I worked with who thought I was crazy to spend my time studying and trying to jump through hoops to get my first position. I'll tell you a funny story. When I wanted to get into anti-money laundering, there was someone who I worked with who thought I was crazy to spend my time jumping through hoops to get my first AML compliance position. Well, guess what? 3 years later, I actually ran into this individual and they were in the same position as before, but I had tripled my income, right? So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to make the investment and get the experience? And is there something that you know you need because you know that you want to move forward in your career? Because our program and our process we've seen has been successful for people from all walks of life. Now, if you know you're ready to make that change and move forward, then I do recommend clicking the first link in the description, because as the calendar gets filled up, we will have to lower the discount from 50% off to maybe 45% and gradually lower it in order to ensure that we can effectively work with everyone. So again, sign up, schedule a call, talk with me or somebody from the team, and if you feel like you are a good fit, you will be offered to join the cohort of students. Again, thank you for your time. I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you use the resume tips and start working on your resume based on what I identified in the video, and I'm sure that it will give you the benefits that you're looking for. All right, if you have any questions, comment below and I'll make sure to answer everything. Thanks. Make sure you like and subscribe and share it with somebody else you know who may be interested in anti-money laundering or compliance. All right, thanks, and I will talk to you guys next time.